just like a CloverField movie is coming, everybody. So, we already had 3. And the first one, of course, was like the found footage, and people loved it. Like, just like it was the whole, it was Matt Reeves. It was supposed to be like, oh, these aliens are invading. We don't see the aliens to the end. It's all shaky cam. And J.J. Abrams. Yeah. And to me, like, that one was great. The second one, though, I really liked a lot. Like Cloverfield Lane, that was really fun with John Goodman. We were talking about that before the show, how great John Goodman is and scary and freaky in that moment. She's in a bunker. And then the third one, of course, was Paradox when they're in space and they went to a different dimension. And then they came back and the aliens were there. They didn't know the aliens were there.
Please, no spoilers. I haven't seen that one yet.
Sorry, Mike.
Listen, this show's great at ruining spoilers, but there is a fairness limit. Like, that movie's 6 years old. I just don't want spoilers that are like, current within at least a while ago.
Came out a while ago. I mean, 2008. And then the last one came out, like, I came out during COVID, I think it was, and we were like in lockdown and people watched it. But like, I liked them all. I like the idea that they never really got into the invasion. It was just like separate stories of people that were experiencing things without it actually being a big invasion thing. I thought it was kind of cool. But this new one's going to continue. JJ was actually talking about it. It's going to continue after the 2008 version, the shaky cam original one. It's going to go before everything else, and it's going to pick up where that one left off. And they've been planning it since 2018. They started like getting the director attached in 2022, which was John Barton, and he's also writing the script. And it's like they've been working this out. And to me, it's like JJ is going back in his past. Of course, he's doing that Hot Wheels movie too, which I think is interesting, but he's doing this too. And I think it's a good idea. Now, the director of Cloverfield Lane actually said too that he would love to do a sequel to his, Trachtenberg. And he said that the actress in him, Elizabeth Winston, actually, Mary Elizabeth Winston, actually would love to do it too. So maybe that would happen as well, because that one was really well done. And just the performance was phenomenal in that too. And John Goodman, before I go to everybody, John Goodman's fucking awesome. Worked him on a movie, or it was a TV show called The Station. And it was the time where he was just like tired all the time. He'd be exhausted from the hours. He just like sit on his mark. He wouldn't leave his mark. And I was standing in for Justin Bartha, and he'd just go to sleep. And so like for a week or two, he'd just be sleeping on his mark, sitting up, laying down, wherever he was at, he'd be his eyes closed, standing up. And then one day I was just standing there and he's like this, and he goes, "Rah!" He like dove at me. I went, "Oh, fuck." And I jumped off my mark, and he goes, "Ha, ha, ha, gotcha, kid." I'm like, he was playing the long fucking game, but he's just a funny guy. He's just a good guy. And he just laughed and he patted me on the shoulder and he shook my hand. He's like, "Thanks for being here." This is a good person. And it's like, he's so great. I'm so happy he's doing better. I know his health was downhill for a while, and I would love to see him come back to this franchise. But this is going to be 2008 continuation, so maybe he won't be there, but I would like them to work him in somehow. We'll see. But Mike, what do you think about this? What would you say? I couldn't make it through the first Cloverfield due to the motion sickness. Motion sickness. That was a hard thing because there was a lot of shaky cam, and they changed that.
First one. Did people like the first one? I was like, what is the...
I actually like the other
footage. Jay, did you were a fan of the first one or what? Like the found footage stuff, was that the appeal? I just remember like I didn't care about any of these kids having their party. I didn't feel attached to any of the characters.
For me, I'm a huge fan of kaiju movies. I love giant monster films.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I was not.
You barely saw the motherfucker though.
I was not.
Like you never saw. When you get to see frickin' Godzilla and King Kong team up and give the fucking German suplex to the Mecha Godzilla, that's some kaiju shit, man.
It was a very disappointing kaiju film to me. I was extremely disappointed with the Cloverfield movie. Over time, I've gone back and revisited it, and it's tolerable. I still watch it, obviously, because I love kaiju films. You like what you like, but it came down to it was just such a disappointment of like the payout. And then like, Brian just said that now we're getting the sequel. That's what I've been waiting on since 2007 or 6 or whatever the fuck this movie
2008. Yeah.
2008. Like, it's been that fucking long. And it's like, that's all I wanted was the giant monster movie that I was never given.
Right.
And instead I got decent, enjoyable, surprisingly well done, like weird prequel at the same time movies that are happening, but it's all focused on the little monsters. I want the motherfucking kaiju. That's what I want. So I will go see this new Cloverfield when it comes out, because maybe I'll finally get what I've been waiting on for 20 fucking years.
I guess you might. John Goodman was kind of a mini kaiju in his environment in Cloverfield Lane, wasn't he? They were doing the low shots too. So you're watching him like stomping over all the tin cans and stuff in his little bunker.
Cloverfield Lane was surprisingly very smart.
I came out of that theater being like, John Goodman is terrifying. Like, and that was an incredible movie. Like, sometimes you just walk out of theater and you're like, that's the good shit. Why can't we get more of that? Like, I really liked it. So yeah, if they're getting Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is there any indication that she's going to be
Well, she said she would come back
for her?
She said she'd come back, but they're saying that it's going to be the first one, not the second one. So if they work her in, you never know. I mean, like Hyde was saying too, maybe we do Godzilla verse, this. And that could be interesting too. You might as well like mesh all the monsters together. They're actually making Godzilla come back on Apple TV, so you never know. Ron, did you see these?
Size doesn't matter.
Ron, I don't know if you saw these or not, but do you think that we need another monster movie, like a franchise like this? Like the shaky cam format's really fucking tough, as we've heard in the chat too. Do you think that that's the route they should go? Even if you haven't seen this, and if you have seen this, do you want to see another one?
For one thing, the shaky cam thing is done. It's over. Let it die. It's just I'm so tired of that myself, and you do get nauseous. As far as another film like that, yeah, why not? It's always good. It's a good popcorn film,
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good popcorn film. People love monster movies.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe that the Apple TV thing they're doing? Like I said, Godzilla on Apple TV. So there's a lot of production spending a lot of money on these monster movies. I think they're just trying to jump on that bandwagon too. They're like, what else can we bring back that's a monster thing? So let's do Cloverfield again.
Right.
Well, and Lexi said it in the comments earlier too, Brian. Cloverfield's the one franchise that they have no idea what the fuck they're doing with their monster. Like they made all these fucking films, and now here comes the fourth movie, which should be the original fucking sequel we should have got immediately, because there was a lot of good hype and build behind the first movie, and it was a 50-50 up in the air, but it still was somewhat successful. And even as a kaiju fan, I went and watched it with my friends. I was a little disappointed, but I would have still gone and seen a sequel if I would have gone right into like, here's the monster movie you wanted, because that's what I was promised. A monster movie.
Not had the budget for that first movie, don't you think?
They must not have. That's why they didn't. They didn't show anything until I know, but they didn't show anything until the very end.
Though. Different guy in 2008.
Yeah,
that's true. I forgot Cloverfield somehow skyrocketed his career after that.
Yeah,
because then he took over everything, and it was great. But yet, I think he never came back and made the damn sequel.
Well, I just think
Star Trek money. You had Star Trek money. Where's my sequel?
I think that was just a thing that they just knew that, we did it that time. It did well. And then he skyrocketed someplace else, didn't come back to it. Maybe wanted to leave it alone.
Was the third one good? You guys in the chat, did you guys see the third one? Cloverfield Paradox? Brian's talking about alternate dimensions, and I'm like, kaiju alternate dimensions.
Paradox was great.
I'm sold. Like, I'm gonna run and to throw this onto my Just Watch queue.
Paradox is the build up to the spaceship falling in the first movie. That's all it is. It's that fucking fireball that you see in the first movie. It explains what that is. That's Paradox. It's the fireball.
Yeah, it's just all that they're all kind of happening around the same time. It's like all the different perspectives of the invasion happening, and they're in space in this one. So I thought the third one was pretty fun, a Netflix movie, but it was different. They made it a space movie as opposed to being on Earth, which was very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see them making more of these things. I could see them doing like a 4, 5, and 6. Maybe you'll eventually get to the Wars of the Aliens. I don't know, but I thought this was fascinating, and the fact that these directors are all talking about they want to do more of them too. Might be a good monster franchise coming forward. Might be. If you're a fan of it, get excited because there's more coming.